Is going on, internet? It is me. It is John. We are here. We are happy. We survived GalaxyCon last weekend. What a good time, man. I can't express how proud I am of the three geeks as a whole, and that's including you and our extended family and just all the content we were able to pull, because even with the technical difficulties, we still had over 20 videos, and that's just, it was amazing. We all hustled pretty bad, hardcore. And, the only reason we didn't get more than 25 videos is just because, people there are busy, and that's a good thing for the people that are there. We got all the interviews we could get with the access that we could have, and it's amazing. We did great.
But more importantly, something that I thought about last Sunday when I got home from the con, none of us got sick. Because a lot of times when you go to a comic book convention or a pop culture convention, there's people that have cooties and they sneeze or cough, and then you happen to just walk past them when they knew that, and you end up sick too. So knock on wood that our good health continues. But I got to be honest, I thought about that, and I'm very happy to report that I think all of us are cold-free.
Well, I mean, it does take 7 or 8 days before COVID shows any signs. So thanks for jinxing us, John. But so far this year, man, I've been to 4 conventions and I have not left one sick yet. And I'm so thankful for that, especially all the Decade Day stuff that I do. I shake a lot of people's hands. I'm interacting with people one-on-one, and it's a miracle that I haven't been sick this year. And yes, I thought about that because Saturday at GalaxyCon, you can barely walk. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we were around that many people and we are still here to tell the tale is amazing.
Our immune system strong like Hulk.
That's right, man. Oh my God, that's right.
Well, I think we have a comment from Dan already in the chat. So Justin, can we get that popped open? Hey now, Daniel Snow, welcome, man. Nothing goes better with a new episode of MatTalk than the great salty snack like Cool Ranch Doritos. Hey, I'm glad you're here because I have a couple wrestling references for you in this review of Matlock. So I hope you're on your toes because I want to see if you catch them. But so Jason, we got taken care of GalaxyCon. In fact, I joined the Three Geeks last night to talk about the experiences. You should go check it out over at the YouTube channel or wherever you watch the Three Geeks from, whether it's Facebook or Twitch or YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Check out the shorts. Check out the entire full episode. In fact, just 20 viewers on YouTube is what Justin just told us right now. So that's a good start. So definitely check it out. And speaking of checking things out, Jason, what are you checking out here in the world of television?
Well, John, I'm blown away by our viewership right now. Guys, please hit that like, comment, share the video out. We greatly appreciate it. Dude, I've been watching quite a bit. I watched a couple Hallmark movies. You guys can go to YouTube, check out the reviews. I won't do them here, but I did watch the new Knives Out, and it was extraordinary. The cast is fantastic. Mila Kunis was one of the new actors in the cast. Glenn Close was another one, but Daniel Craig in that role is fantastic. The mystery, I didn't solve it. They got me. So it's always fun to watch a murder mystery and not know what happened. But dude, I've just been watching a lot. I'm almost done with Gilmore Girls, and I'm glad that I'm almost done. That is a show that went on a little too long, in my opinion, and I can talk about it here because we're not doing a big binge tonight. So one of the things that bothers me on a television show, I can forgive a lot when it comes to certain plots and so forth, but when you don't do service to the characters that you've written and have them do things that are out of character for everything that you've done for 5 seasons, it drives me nuts. And in season 6 and the 7 of that show, the characters are making decisions that are not faithful to what the characters have been throughout the course of the series. So it's driving me nuts now that I'm in the tail end. But overall, it's been a fun experience. What are you watching, John?
Well, funny you mentioned that. I have been on a kind of a binge of trying to get caught up with the new Matlock because, as you know from previous episodes of this podcast, I've been behind by about 2 or 3 episodes, so I finally got all the way done. I enjoy what the direction they're going in, I think, for the next season. I like some of the intrigue of some of the interactions of the characters, and we also kind of seen how they're going to handle the controversy, if you will, regarding David Del Rio. So overall, I'm still impressed with Matlock, the new one. Granted, there were a couple of episodes I thought that might be a little bit weak, like the one that involved the stupid brother and sister that had the food truck. Like that one kind of was a little weak, but overall, it's been a fun show. My wife and I, it's our show. One of us can't watch it without the other. And so I'm happy that I'm caught up and looking forward to season 3 of that awesome television show.
So you did watch the Christmas episode?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, dude is officially gone from the series. I also have been intrigued. I am getting to the point where I hope we get some closure on that case, which I know it's one of those slower serialized stories because they do the case week. But I do hope that we get to some head with that very, very soon. But the twist at the end with Ritter was fantastic.
Yes. And look, I'll also say this too, like kind of going along what you said with Gilmore Girls. For me, I don't get mad if a show wraps up and it's going out on top. Fine example, Justified, the original series, 5 seasons. That's what they should have gone with. There was no need, that's what they went with. That's what it ended perfectly. And I was fine with it. For me, there's nothing I hate more than a really good show. And that show ends up jumping the shark because it's going to go to a season 6 or season 7 or season 8 or season 9. And it's pretty much done by, season 4. So, but that's what I have been watching. I understand we have another comment from Dan. So Justin, can we get that on up here? I've been going on my annual Christmas movie binge. Watched one of my favorites yesterday, The Santa Claus. I'm indifferent about the Santa Claus, the first one. I don't like the third one. The third one's awful, but and I've seen the second one too, and I'm indifferent about it. What say you, Jason, about the Santa Claus?
Oh, I love
franchise?
all 3 Santa Claus movies. I love both seasons of the television series they did a few years ago. I'm a big Tim Allen fan. I'm still a Tim Allen fan. His new show, Shifting Gears, I still really, really like. And Santa Claus. It's one of my favorites. I don't rewatch a whole lot, but one of the movies I am going to watch this year, God help me, is I'm going to watch Christmas Vacation 2 for the first time.
Ooh, you're a brave man.
Well, last year I did all 6 Home Alones, and there's only one Christmas Vacation 2, so nothing.
It's your tradition.
Worse.
All right. Well, speaking of tradition and things that might be worse or might be better, who knows? We have yet to give our particular ratings. Oh, we are going to get things kicked off here momentarily, but we have to submit our ratings to Justin. So as we do typically here, let me pull open my.
John's got a spreadsheet about his ratings for every single episode.
No, I do not. I want to just open up. I don't want to send it in the group chat, so I'm opening up Messenger here for a moment so I can.
I was waiting for you to send it in the group chat.
No, that's okay. So I'm submitting my rating to Justin right now. Have you sent yours?
I have.
Okay. All right. Well, then we're going to find out at the end who is most closest, I guess you could say, to their official rating. But until then, let's go ahead, Jason, and get started with our opening statement.
Well, I have to predict you, John, and my prediction for you is a 2 based on how you introduced this episode just a second ago.
Okay. I'm going to predict for you. I'm going to predict a 4.
I did learn one thing is that there is a checklist with these kind of shows, and the Juror episode is definitely on every single one of these kinds of shows.
Yes.
Psych did it. Monk did it. Columbo did it. Did Columbo do it? I don't know if Columbo did it, but Murder, She Wrote did it. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yep. Well, the episode that we're talking about, since Jason talked about it a little bit there with the courtroom, it is The Juror, and its original air date is February 11th, 1993. And weirdly enough, I'm going to start with a guest star who is uncredited, and I can't believe he's uncredited because if you know who he is, he has literally, we could spend the next 45 minutes just talking about his resume. But I'm talking about Fred Dalton Thompson, who will be playing the role of Prosecutor McGonagall. But you probably know him best as DA Arthur Branch in the Law and Order universe. Yes, he was on all of them, at least for a few episodes. But he's also known for playing the role of Admiral Painter in The Hunt for Red October, senior pastor in God's Not Dead 2. He played Frank Michael Thomas in The Good Wife. He played O'Keefe in The Last Ride, Sir Trenton in Racing Stripes, Tom Broadbent in Cape Fear, and more credits than I could name. And on top of that, he spent time in the U.S. Senate as a senator for Tennessee. So I would love to know why he wasn't credited, because he had a pretty big role. And on top of that, look at all of his accolades. Now, granted, I know some of those accolades didn't take place until after 1993, but still, that confuses me as to why he wasn't mentioned.
No, it's fair.
So, all right, let's talk about another guest. This is Ed Grady. He will play the role of Lou Green. You may know him as Harry in Max Andrews' favorite movie, The Notebook. We all know how much he loves The Notebook.
Yeah. A Notebook, one of many movies where they show you that cheating can pay off.
He also played Judge Marcus in A Simple Twist of Faith. He also played Dr. Melnick in Lolita. He played Grandpa in Not Without My Daughter. He also played Gramps on Dawson's Creek. He played Dr. Appleby in Children of the Corn 2 and 3.
Which are my two favorite Children of the Corn movies, actually.
Really? Better than the original?
I do like them better than the original.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen them. I just remember liking those two particularly quite a bit.
Okay. He had several different roles in the TV show In the Heat of the Night. He was also played the role of Preacher in the movie Wild Hearts Can't Be Broken. And he has plenty of other, I think, 60 or 70 other credits to his name.
Yeah, and he played Old Man in the original Handmaid's Tale movie, which I have not seen.
Yeah, that's popped up quite a bit here and there when doing research for Matlock. There seems to be a lot of people, especially, like I said before, in this season, there seems to be a lot of people that maybe don't have as much experience as some of the other seasons, because I think they're, at least my theory is, they're in North Carolina. So, all right. Justin, you say you have another, we have another comment from Dan. So go ahead and pop that up, please. No show can last more than 5 or 6 seasons and not jump the proverbial shark. Dallas is one of the biggest examples of that. Yeah, I think it's tough because I think you run out of ideas and places to take the characters and whatnot. Fred Thompson had already appeared in one Matlock episode 2 where he was credited, which makes him an uncredited even more odd. Yes, he was in another one. Daniel, you got me on that one. I don't remember that. Jason, can you look that up and see what other episode he was in for Matlock?
Yes.
All right, while you do that, I'm going to talk about Deborah Hobart, who will play the role of Mrs. Carpenter. You may know her as Amy Holloway on Another World, or Dana McFarlane in As the World Turns, or as several different characters, not only on Days of Our Lives, but also in Ed Grady's TV show as well that he's known for, In the Heat of the Night. She also played Jessica Royce in Gordy, Mrs. James in I Know What You Did Last Summer, Aunt Louise in The Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, and Aunt Kitty in The Notebook. And she also played a individual named Celeste Wagner in an episode of Matlock from season 5, episode 11, The Broker, where Julie believes a stockbroker was accused of killing her client. It appears that he might be suicidal and his death may have been a suicide. And then Ben and Conrad help Julie, and she becomes a target herself. I vaguely remember doing and reviewing this episode, but if I remember correctly, I think it's also the one where Ben stays over to protect her and whatnot. So, was Fred Dalton Thompson on another episode? I'm not doubting Daniel, but I just don't remember that. The hunting party. So, Jason, did you come up with the hunting party?
I can't find Fred Dalton on the IMDb page.
It's Fred Dalton Thompson.
Yeah, I don't see it on there.
Maybe it's under Fred. Okay, well, we got it. We're going to go with what we trust Daniel Snow here. Anyways, let's talk about our last guest star, Mark Jeffrey Miller as Jason Brady. You may also know him as D4 Officiant in Hunger Games Mockingjay 2, Sheffield in Cold Mountain, the Firebomber in Mississippi Burning, Buzz on the show Florida Man, Crockett or Cracky or Crack, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, from the movie or from the TV show Outsiders. He also played the role of Bud on Better Call Saul, Officer Ned Peppers on Constantine, Henry in Christmas in Conway, Lyle Johnson in the Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, and Wounded Continental in the Patriot, and many more. So I'm noticing a trend that we seem to have a couple people from In the Heat of the Night, a couple people from the Yaya Sisterhood. So again, this kind of plays into my idea and my theory that there's not a lot of very, very tenured actors and actresses in season 7. But Jason, I have to ask you, have you seen Christmas in Conway?
I have not, but he was also in the very underrated Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh my. And you know, the other one that I really mentioned here, and I've got this urge to watch Mississippi Burning. I've never seen it, but I've seen, especially a month or a month and a half ago or 2 months ago when Gene Hackman died, that there was a lot of the infamous Michael Rooker scene that involves the racist folks, and he was the FBI agent. I really want to see that movie because I think it just from that clip, it's something that I think I would enjoy watching. So, All right, Jason. Anything else for Mark Jeffrey Miller besides he was in the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie?
I do not, John.
All right, then, Jason, I have a question to ask you, and that question is: I need you to give me your opinion. Only your opinion and solely your opinion, so help you. Can you do that for me, my man?
I will, John. Let's testify!
Testify!
I love dancing. It's fun.
All right, Ben Matlock is on a jury duty and is the only holdout for a verdict. So we start with our opening scene. A car pulls into a driveway, and a lady gets out and enters a house. She goes in and states to the person that lives there that she is there because she forgot her watch, which I didn't realize that there was nobody there. I thought that there was somebody there she was talking to, but alas, she also turns around and there's nobody there except for an unfinished meal on the dining room table. So she decides to get on the intercom and ask Miss Spaulding if she could bring her food to her. There's no response. So she goes up the stairs and lo and behold, she finds a dead body. By the way, I just want to throw this out there. This has nothing to do with the episode, but that tiling work, I really like those tiling work in that bathroom. I don't know what it was, but it gave me that's a pretty sweet design. But we cut to Ben's
That's how you know
house.
you're gotten old, when you notice the tile on a television show. Man, that looks good. I need to call my tile guy.
I need to call my general contractor. Get that put in the bathroom. All right. We got a couple of other comments, but let's hold those for a moment if we can. Justin, please. So we go to Ben Matlock's house, and Ben's got a gift that he's bringing, sneaking into the kitchen, in which Leanne is there at the kitchen table. And so she goes, "Look what Conrad did. He gave me a very funny birthday card." And then Ben pulls out a present and gives it to his daughter. And his daughter unwraps it, and it's a blue baseball cap. And at that point, I thought that's all he got her because he is a cheapskate. I'm like, that's all he got her. That's lame. What did you think?
That's right up it's par with the course.
But Ben actually got her a new fishing pole too, so that she could wear the baseball cap while they go fishing. And they make a plan to go fishing, and then Ben gets called for jury duty. Now I wrote this down, and I actually did some research. I wrote down, is this a conflict of interest, being a high-priced, very successful lawyer, being on a jury?
No, and it's not. It would only be a conflict of interest if it was their client.
Well, indeed, but funny you mentioned. Well, funny that you mentioned this. I looked it up, and according to Google, attorneys can be on jury duty, but most of the time, 95% of the time, if you are a lawyer, you're excused in the interview process because they don't want any type of kind of ramifications or consequences that something is not on the up and up. So if you're a lawyer, you're probably getting excused. So,
well, yeah, especially if it's a prosecutor you go up against on a regular basis, who you might have a vendetta, or if you have political opinions as far as like death penalty goes, they definitely would pull most lawyers, I would think.
Yeah. All right, let's hear those two comments, please, Justin. If you could put them up on the screen, please. All right, I like the '90s Super Mario Brothers movie. Mississippi Burning is phenomenal. Thank you, Daniel Snow, for those two comments there. Appreciate it, man.
Mississippi Burning. What is going on, Sarah Musa? Welcome to the show. We appreciate you.
Yes, thank you very much. I've been summoned for jury duty 3 or 4 times. It's as fun as having your wisdom teeth cut out, says Daniel Snow.
Dude, I want to be on jury duty. I've seen the Pauly Shore movie. It looks like a blast. I hope that one day they call me because I am down. I want to be sequestered into a hotel with my dog Peanut. If you've seen the movie, you get the reference, and I can't wait for that to happen.
Well, Ben doesn't get out of jury duty. Our next scene is he's in the little jury box, if you will. And basically, Mr. Spaulding is on trial for murdering his wife. So McGonagall doesn't even really want to dismiss Ben, and the defense attorney, I forget his name. I think his name is Whiteman. They both are like, "You're the most honest guy that we know. You're exceptional. We're going to keep you on the jury." All right. So no one gets cut. Ms. Carpenter is on the stand. She testifies about the Spaulding's marital strife. Mr. Spaulding doesn't work. He lives off the millions of dollars his wife has accumulated. But Mr. Spaulding is also cheating. And so Carpenter heard them fight many times, but in one of those fights, she heard Mr. Spaulding say, "I'm not going to give you a divorce, but I'm going to kill you." So the defense attorney, who looks an awful lot like wrestling manager J.J. Dillon, by the way, just throwing that out there.
Oh, wait, hold on. We talked about what you've been watching, and you didn't mention anything about the John Cena fight last night. I want to know how it went, John. I've been waiting all day to find out. I didn't Google. I didn't anything because I figured it was going to be a MatTalk conversation.
Well, I wasn't really going to go down there. I thought about it, but I was like, we got a long enough episode. We don't. Okay.
This is going out on the Three Geeks Twitter, and he follows us there. So
okay, let's take a timeout. Take a timeout. Although Daniel, if you want to comment on that wrestling reference, you can. But okay, we'll take a timeout. Look, first off, Jay, it's not a fight. Well, it's a match, but I kind of dig the idea that Jason thinks it's a fight. Look, the WWE produced some great video packages, some great goodbye and sentimental packages because they are very good at doing that. That I got to give their television production for the WWE is off the charts. Always has been and always will be fantastic. I mean, they just have the tools, the technology, the money to make every broadcast look like $1 million. I thought the match was okay against Gunther. There was a little bit of too much of what I like to call non-selling, meaning that there was a big move done and John Cena or Gunther kicked out, and it's kind of a little bit I don't know, it's a little bit like hokey for me, but I mean, it is his last match. I cut it some slack. I thought the ending was okay. Thought it could have been a little bit better than just putting John to sleep with the sleeper hold. But overall, I mean, look, I hate to be that guy. In a couple of years, he's going to be back. All right. He's going to be back because the Saudi Arabia crew is going to have a big event, whatever that might be over there. And they're going to want John Cena because that's what they do. We want the Undertaker to be on the show. We want Kane to be on the show. Not lying, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, when they first started doing shows in Saudi Arabia, they asked for the Ultimate Warrior, and then they had to tell him, well, he's dead, so you can't have him. But for John Cena, I mean, look, the dude's proven that he's a great actor. He's got plenty of things to fall back on. He'll be very, very busy, I'm sure, in Hollywood. And, fantastic. I salute you, Mr. Cena, for all the years of great entertainment and charity work. That dude does not turn down charity work. He visits a lot. In fact, I think he still has the record for most Make-A-Wishes. So there you go.
All Three Geeks podcast. You can't get more Make-A-Wish than that. Thank you, John, for the quick pivot. But we get back to it. Andrew, hello. Thank you for checking us out.
Oh, where's Andrew at? Is that a Twitter?
No, it was
comment?
just a comment that said hello. I was just saying hello back.
Oh, there you go, Andrew. All right. Hello, man. Thanks for watching. We got another. Cena will be back. Taker retired multiple times, says Daniel Snow, and I agree with you on that one. I think he'll be back. Maybe not be until a couple years from now, but he's coming back. I mean, everybody comes back. Austin comes back. The Rock comes back. Chris Jericho comes back. Huh?
Hogan will be back.
No, he's dead now, man. So
AI, my friend, AI.
All right. Well, anyways, Mrs. Carpenter, she recounts her finding the body, and she claims that she heard footsteps, which is thought to be Mr. Spaulding running out the back door and into the garage. Next up on the stand is Dr. Buddy Roberts. There's another one for you, Daniel. He is on the stand, and he reports that the death was not an accident, that she, being Mrs. Spaulding, had ether put over her mouth and face, and then she was drugged upstairs and killed in the bathroom. And the reason why Dr. Roberts is, that's all that he had to say. I'm sorry. But next is the police officer. I forget the detective's name. But the handkerchief they found is filled with ether, and it's in his golf bag. And it kind of crushes the alibi of Mr. Spaulding, even though his attorney's like, hold on, you mean to tell me that of all the things in that garage that the cops had to look at, that they knew specifically to go over to the golf bag? And the cop says, well, because the handkerchief was hanging halfway out of it. And there's still that, like, wait a minute. So it was halfway out. You still, you pulled it on out when it was, half zippered shut. Isn't that a little bit, coincidental? And so all of that leads to the jurors deliberating. All right. And Jason, as you said, I believe it is, of course, this is the episode that everybody does, especially in law, because it's harkened back to probably the first time it was done with 12 Angry Men. What do you say?
Oh, it's very 12 Angry Men-ish. And I was waiting for again, I don't want to go back to the Pauly Shore classic jury duty, but this entire episode, I was waiting for the twist that one of the people on the jury were the actual killer, just because of how angry that one guy was the entire episode.
Yeah.
I was like, this guy did it. Like, obviously this guy did it, but I won't say whether I was right or wrong yet.
Yeah. And look, I'm also going to say this is that I'm just going to kind of give the highlights of what happens, because to be honest, not much really happens besides arguing in the jury room. I have to be honest. And that may tip my hat a little bit as to how many gavels I give, but we have a few other comments here. Justin's going to pop them up here. Good day from down under in Australia. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Andrew. Good day to you too, my friend. Can the AI Hogan be programmed to tell the truth and not use certain words? Buddy Roberts, the original. No, that's Buddy Rogers. Buddy Roberts is the third Freebird, is the bump machine for the fabulous Freebirds. All right. Let's see here. We go back to the jury room where the jurors are all discussing the different facts. And everybody's kind of milling around, and this person talks to Ben or that person talks to this person, et cetera, et cetera. I do not like the comedian. I do not like that guy. That juror's an idiot. The one who's making the jokes all the time. I did not like that.
Man, you got really, really mad.
Just because I think it was not necessary, and it didn't work for I know what they were trying to do. Like, we need some levity, and we can't have Ace Calhoun in this jury room. So let's come up with another character that's equally stupid. So I mean, they attempted and failed miserably. That's all I'll say. Vote number 1. Okay, they take it by show of hands. Everyone but Ben votes as guilty. And so Ben says he didn't vote for not guilty, he didn't vote for guilty, because he's still bothered by the ether and the rag. Like, as he mentioned, why would you leave that behind? Like, why can't you could just put it in your pocket and leave? And he also mentioned too that, there's the bottle. So the bottle's missing. Nobody knows where that is. Why wouldn't you take the bottle and the rag all at once? And why would you hide one and not the other? And then Larry, who is our resident jerk in this episode.
Yep. Not a cable guy.
No. He's hardcore about he did it. And he's trying to pressure Ben into it. And Ben's retort to him, because he says he doesn't give a damn about Ben. Ben says, I do give a damn about this case. And in fact, they roll through. Henrietta thinks that he did it. Lionel thinks that he did it. Jennifer thinks that he did it because he has a criminal record, which Ben's like, look, we can't include that. That was not brought up in the courtroom. We can't do that. And another sticking point for the jurors is the $10 million that is going to be on the line if Spalding, wins or loses. So they take vote number 2. This time in a written format on a slip of paper. We have 9 guilty, 3 non-guilty. There's a little bit of sexism between Larry and the one juror, the one female juror. In fact, he doesn't stop there. He goes ahead and insults Ramon, the only Hispanic person in the jury room, with some just, downright old-fashioned, like, yeah, you're taking her jabs, and that type of banter. A near fight breaks out, though, between Larry and Ramon, which is the only real action that we have in this episode. But more on that in a few minutes. They decide to order lunch to get some food. And I was very upset. You know why, Jason? They didn't order hot dogs.
Why, John?
They didn't order hot dogs.
They didn't. I mean, Ben would have had to convince the room of 12 to get hot dogs. That's probably harder than convincing them this guy's innocent.
Yeah. All right, so...
I mean, if the court's paying for your food, do you want hot dogs? No, you're going to call out for Cameron Mitchell's.
No, yeah, well, whatever. And for those of you that don't live in Central Ohio, Cameron Mitchell's is like a very fancy, expensive restaurant. So, anyways, the jurors, after lunch, they start reviewing Mrs. Carpenter's testimony. And again, the funny juror decides to make a joke about the meal that Mrs. Spalding was going to have. And basically, they talk about the fact that Mrs. Spalding, who has got some health issues, got a bad back, walked all the way down the steps, all the way into the kitchen, prepared food, took it to the dining room table, then decided I didn't want it, then go back up the stairs, back to her bed. Like, it just seems like there's way too much going on there. And Ben also mentioned too that there's a theory that, or maybe it wasn't Ben, it was one of the jurors that stated, what if she was drugged first and then drug up the stairs and then killed? But Ben points out that no ether was found in the dining room. In fact, there's no cars parked outside or not. There was something to know. There was something about that. Definitely, if Mr. Spaulding should have parked away from the scene of the crime, why would he just park in his own garage, which has been alluded to? Larry wants to know why everyone wants to let Mr. Spaulding get off with this crime of his. And as you said, Jason, he's really hardcore about this. Like
hardcore. I was convinced this guy did it. I was waiting for that shoe to drop.
That would have been an awesome twist, I think. But so we're going to do vote number 3. Show of hands. This time we're 6 and 6. Ben finally tells the funny juror to shut up. Good, Ben. Good for you, man. So Larry thinks that he is guilty still. Larry's still talking trash. All right, he's talking to another one of the jurors outside as he's taking a smoke break. But when they get up or when they get back in the jury room, Lou kind of fumbles with his medicine and whatnot, and he has a hard time picking it up. And so that gives Ben an idea. And he says, can I have pictures of the murder scene? And I understand that we have some more comments from Daniel Snow. Daniel, come on up, man. You got my shoulders on the mat, John, for the 1, 2, 3. I was thinking about Buddy Landell. I've now been trespassed from Bad Street, USA, GA. Doc just brought me the notice. Oh, if you're not a wrestling fan, I'm sure you didn't understand any of that, but that's okay. I went right over Jason's head. But anyways, there are no drag marks or any type of like indication that something was drug across the carpet. There was no cane for Mrs. Spaulding. It was by her bed, but yet she was downstairs. Henrietta is asked to lie on the table, and Larry is asked to pick her up. All right. And Larry struggles and he can't do it. So Ben's like, there you go. He can't pick her up to carry her up the steps if he killed her in the dining room. So the jurors all vote not guilty, and this includes Larry, who changes his mind. And so we go back to the courtroom where the jury finds Mr. Spaulding not guilty. And then all the jurors say their goodbyes. And it's a happy ending for everybody. They're all going to have beers together. They're all going to have dinner together. They're all going to hang out on the weekends and maybe do some fishing. And that, my friends, is the end of the episode called The Juror. Jason, do you have any other comments you would like to talk about?
No, John, we can get right into our statements.
All right, let's get on into our closing statements.
This is the part of the podcast where John will come over and we will watch Jury Duty starring Pauly Shore, and we will enjoy it. It's got Tia Carrera in it as well. But
oh wait, time out. I'm there. If Tia Carrera's in there, I'm there.
Yeah, we rate the show on a gavel system. 1 gavel means 5 gavels means we loved it, and I've already said what we're gonna do if we get negative 30 gavels. But I'm giving it a 3 because it's fine. I like these episodes of TV. Maybe it's because I'm a huge fan of 12 Angry Men that they get me. But again, I was waiting for another shoe to drop. I know John's going to be upset that we don't find out who actually killed the wife. This might have actually been a pretty good 2-parter. But John, what about you?
I gave it 3.5.
Wow.
I did.
I'm speechless. Let's just end the show now.
Well, here's the reason why. It was a very different plot. It was something we've never seen before. We've never seen Ben kind of on the other side of the law, so to speak. So I like that. I also got to be honest with you. This guy, I've seen him in other things. Nothing hits harder than when he's in a law drama. And that's Fred Dalton Thompson. Like, I've seen him in Cape Fear. I've seen him in other things, and he's fine. But man, when he is in the courtroom, he's got that gravitas to him that I automatically like, yes, that is an attorney. That man knows the law. And so that gets a plus for me. To me, not knowing the end of who murdered Mrs. Spaulding. I didn't really care about that, but some of the evidence, the way that they kept throwing out different theories was a little bit confusing. I feel like they were half baked and they didn't really like if they had just focused on one or two aspects rather than three or four, it would have been clearer, the evidence. The big thing that I disliked was the happy ending with the jurors. Like, you mean to tell me that everybody's going to be like, hey, I'm sorry I called you, a deadbeat and immigrant trash. I'm sorry. Oh, that's okay, Larry. We can go get a beer together. What the hell? No, absolutely not.
Lawyers used to do that all the time. Prosecutors and defense attorneys used to go out for a beer after trials. Like, they didn't say all this awful stuff about each other.
No. That was my biggest X or negative, if you will, is just the happy ending. However, oh shucks, we'll get along. So anyways, all right. Well, do we have any other comments, Justin? I don't think we do. -30, quite possibly the worst episode of the series. I'd rather be forced to watch the main event of Starrcade 97 on repeat for the rest of my life. Oh, you hate yourself. You hate this episode that much. Wow.
It was not that bad.
I mean, Starrcade 97 is a bad wrestling pay-per-view. I will tell you that, Jason. Maybe not as bad as Legends of Wrestling, because that by far is the worst pay-per-view ever. But I digress. All right. What's happening with the Three Geeks podcast, dude?
So much. I think we're up to 5 shorts a day. So production is up drastically. We are live next Saturday. Will probably be the last live show of the year as we get ready for the holidays and so forth. But we got interviews coming, lots of interviews coming, and just stay tuned. Lots of stuff happening. We just added another geek. She won't be on the show as much as we are, but she will be doing a lot of our social media, and Angel's been a blessing this week to have, so we're happy to have her.
Well, as for the PVD cast, this week's episode is my coverage of some of the conversations I had at GalaxyCon. And so it's a little bit of a shorter episode because of, when you're down there, you don't want to take up all their time, those people that you're talking to. You got to make it quick. But nonetheless, it's a fun episode. Definitely check it out. I was very humbled to talk to Brian O'Halloran. As many of you may know him as Dante from Clerks. It was cool to talk to him. And we met a whole bunch of great people down there. And check it out. But Jason, we have something that we didn't talk about. So we're going to do it live on air. All right. The next episode of MatTalk is slated for December 28th. But as you know, that's only a couple days away from past Christmas, where yours truly will not be in the state of Ohio. That will be out in Rhode Island visiting mom. So here you go. We got to vote on it. Are we going to do a pre-recorded, or are we going to do a best of episode? What do you want to do?
I'm down to pre-record.
Okay. All right. Pre-recording it is. All right. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. We don't really do this very often, but it just clicked in my head. Oh, shoot. I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Rhode Island on the 28th. So, all right. There you go. Then we'll be looking forward to another fantastic episode of MatTalk here in a couple of weeks. Jason, is there anything else, or should we get on out of here?
John, let's get out of here. And as they say in court,
nothing further.